Ya, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Pak.
Oke, hari ini kita akan melanjutkan ya. Setelah tadi pagi kelas. Nah, sekarang kelas kalian. So today we will discuss and I will hear you talk about what is it? The analysis of Indonesian.
Ngelitik anjir.
One of you tell about inflation, maybe another will tell about unemployment, another will tell about economic growth. What is it? Maybe or Islamic Bank, maybe or Bank Indonesia, whatever. Okay? Kalau bisa nggak sama ya satu sama lain. Aduh. Ya, kalau bisa nggak sama ya. Satu jaman ya. Karena habis ini saya mau ada rapat. Okay? Voluntary will be the first. Okay, thank you. Siapa itu? Aulia. Okay. Silakan.
Yes, sir. Wait. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aulia Raziza. Here I will discuss unemployment in Indonesia. Unemployment in Indonesia is a complex problem that is influenced by various factors, including population growth, education level, and economic development. Even though Indonesia has record stable economic growth, change still remain in labor absorption, especially in sectors that require special skills. The gap between education and labor market need often leads to skill mismatch, thereby exacerbating unemployment rates. Apart from that, technology change and industrial shift also influence job market dynamics. To address unemployment effective effort and need to improve the quality of education and training as ensure sustainable job creation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Ini ya yang bisa saya garis bawahi tadi, misalkan ketika ngomong sering itu often ya, often. Tulisannya often ya memang, tapi biasanya mereka bacanya often gitu ya, often. Terus walaupun itu bacanya itu even though ya. Jadi jangan even talk gitu ya. Even though gitu. Oke, siapa tadi yang ujung tadi? Tadi ya. Ini. Siapa ini? 012.
Iya Pak, mohon maaf sebelumnya kalau tidak bisa cam. Tidak apa-apa ya Pak?
Ya, silakan.
Oke, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Navigation Indonesian economic landscape, infrastructure development, digital transformation, and demographic changes. Indonesian economic trajectory is influenced by several critical factors, including infrastructure development, digital transformation, and demographic changes by World Bank 2024. Infrastructure development significant investment are being made in projects like the Trans-Java Toll, road and port expansion, enhancing connectivity and reducing logistic costs by Ministry of Public Works and Housing 2024. These improvements are crucial for trade and regional development, despite challenges such as funding and environmental impact by World Bank 2024. Digital transformation, the rapid growth of the digital economy and e-commerce is transforming business operation in Indonesia by Ministry of Communication and Information Technology 2024. Increased internet use drive the new market opportunities and consumer behavior change, prompting the government to develop regulation for consumer protection by Economy C Report 2024. Demographic changes. Indonesia faced significant demographic shift, including an aging population and urbanization, which influence consumption patterns and increased demand for healthcare. By Statistic Indonesia 2024, the rising number of higher education graduates is also reshaping the labor market by World Bank 2024. Overall, these factors illustrate Indonesia's evolving economic environment by World Bank 2024. Effective infrastructure investment, strategic adoption of digital technologies, and proactive management of demographic changes are crucial for sustaining economic growth and addressing future challenges by Ministry of Public Works and Housing 2024. Understanding how these elements interconnect provides a comprehensive view of Indonesia's path forward in a rapidly changing global landscape by World Bank 2024. Sekian dari saya, terima kasih.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Ya, sebentar. Gimana ini? Oke, Cela. Ya, suaramu itu enak ya sebenarnya ya. Cuman tadi apa ya, kayak habis kencang ininya mic-nya mungkin ya, kencang terus pelan gitu ya. Ya, secara umum sudah oke ya. Paling tadi ini apa, consumption ya, consumption itu cara bacanya ya. Terus pendanaan itu funding ya, funding. Terus yang lain kurang lebih sudah oke lah ya.
Baik,
Oke.
terima kasih.
Terus ini siapa ini? Ahmad.
Ya,
Ayo silakan.
ya, oke, sir. I wanna will give topic about tourist and economic in Bali growth economic in Bali tourism. So, Bali economic is heavily reliant on the tourism industry, which plays a significant role in its economic growth and employment. Below is a detailed analysis of Bali economics through the lens of tourism. Dominance of the tourism sector. Tourism is the main contributor to Bali's GDP, accounting for more than 50% of the region economy. The sector encompasses a variety of subsectors such as hospitality, restaurants, travel agencies, transportation and related industries, like souvenirs, arts, and etc. A large portion of Bali population works in tourism-related sectors, directly or indirectly. Hotels, restaurants, tour guides, artisans, and workers at airports and ports are all rely on the influx of tourists for their livelihood. Next, international tourists. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Bali welcomed millions of international tourists annually. Australia, China, Japan, and European countries were major sources of tourists. These international visitors significantly contribute to foreign exchange earning and demand for premium services in Bali. In addition to international visitors, domestic tourists play a crucial role. They have become the backbone of Bali tourism, especially during the pandemic recovery period when international travel restrictions were still in place. About the tourism in Bali, tourism diversification. Natural and cultural tourism. Bali is renowned for its beaches, but it also offers various cultural and nature destinations, such as Ubud, known for its arts and spirituality, and national parks in West Bali. And and cultural and spiritual tourism distinguishes Bali from other destinations. With the growing global awareness for sustainability, Bali has been developing ecotourism and eco-friendly tourism. Destinations like traditional village as and sustainable natural tourism have become increasingly popular. Uh, Next, Bali is also a popular destination for digital nomads, contributing to the local economy by attracting long-term stays away from remote workers. About tourism infrastructure and investment, Ngurah Rai International Airport is a key gateway for bringing tourists to Bali. Infrastructure projects like toll roads, hotels, and other tourism facilities continue to develop to meet tourist demand. Bali attracts significant investment in the property and hospitality sectors from both domestic and foreign investors. Luxury resorts and villas funded by foreign capital add to the upscale accommodation option on the island. The conclusion, Bali tourism-driven economy relies heavily on the steady flow of both domestic and international tourists. While it's slowly recovering from the pandemic, Bali must diversify its economy and adopt sustainable tourism practices to address long-term challenges, including its heavy dependence on tourism and environmental impacts. So that's it. That's my conclusion. Only like that, sir. I can turn to Mr. Fahrul.
Ya, ya. Jadi pengen ke Bali ya. Oke. Jadi dulu itu hampir setiap tahun ke Bali ya. Ada company visit. Tapi sejak pandemi itu nggak pernah lagi ke Bali ya. Nah, biasanya terakhir itu katanya di ini ya sama Pak Ajib ditanyain ke mungkin angkatanmu atau angkatan yang lebih tua itu sudah pada nggak mau jalan-jalan. Wah, padahal kan seru jalan-jalan ya. Nah, soalnya itu memang harus bayar lagi ya. Kalau nggak salah dulu itu 700 gitu ya, satu orang. Jadi memang harus nabung ya. Nanti naik bis bareng-bareng gitu ya. Oke, thank you ya. Ada beberapa yang saya catat tadi ya. Pronunciation-nya. Misalkan tentang apa tadi ya? Kunci, gitu ya. Key, kunci itu key ya, jangan key gitu ya. Key, key. Terus diversify ya, cara bacanya ya. Diversify harus apa namanya? Jadi mendiversifikasi turismenya ya, biar jalan lagi gitu kan. Nah, nanti kalau rekaman kelas ini sudah jadi, biasanya itu saya upload di YouTube akun saya ya. Nah, kalau di YouTube itu mereka punya mesin yang bisa menggenerate percakapan gitu ya. Jadi ada running text-nya tuh di bawah otomatis gitu ya. Nah, nanti kalau sudah jadi itu running text-nya itu, nanti kalian bisa lihat ya. Kalau terdeteksi dengan benar, kata-katamu jelas gitu ya, very clear gitu ya. Itu bagus tuh, kelihatan tuh teksnya di bawahnya itu ya. Nah, gitu ya. Nah, itu kalau pengucapanmu benar ya. Nah, di situ nanti kalian bisa belajar, oh berarti kalau belum terdeteksi itu kata-katamu belum benar gitu ya, mungkin pengucapannya atau kurang jelas gitu ya, ininya apa spellingnya gitu ya. Nah, oke, thank you ya Ahmad ya. Terus siapa lagi? Ya, cuman sekarang Bali itu kan ini ya, apa namanya, bule-bule itu kan banyak yang nggak bermoral gitu ya, jadi bikin Bali kotor gitu ya. Terus kadang-kadang mereka kan ini juga ya, kriminal gitu ya, nggak beradab gitu ya. Tuh, siapa tadi? Oh, belum ada yang ngacung lagi. Ayo, siapa? Ayo, ngacung. Kalau tidak ada harus saya pilih. Ah, ya, ayo, Enggi. Silakan.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning, sir and everyone. I will tell you about halal tourism in Indonesia. The development of halal tourism in Indonesia has seen significant progress in recent years, driven by government policy and halal certification from LPPUMM. Destinations such as Aceh, Lombok, and Yogyakarta now offer facilities and service that comply with Islamic principles, attracting international Muslim tourism and strengthening Indonesian position as a leading halal tourism destination. The positive impact of halal tourism growth on Indonesian economic is substantial. This sector boosts local revenue through increased tourism visits and investment in infrastructure and tourism facilities. As a result, previously underdevelopment areas are now experiencing significant economic benefits. Additionally, halal tourism contributes to the diversification of the national economy, reducing reliance on traditional sectors such as agriculture and industry. By introducing new products and services that meet halal standards, this sector broadens Indonesia's economic base and enhances its appeal in the global market. The halal tourism sectors also creates various job opportunities, including position in halal certificate, hotels and restaurants, as well as tour guides and travel agents who understand the needs of Muslim travelers. The rising demands from halal facilities and service generates new employment across different sectors, from management to support staff. Overall, halal tourism not only positively impacts Indonesian economic growth, but also creates numerous new jobs and opportunities. Continued support from the government and private sector will further strengthen the sector's growth and its economic benefits in the future. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Enggi ya. Halal tourism. Ya, next we have siapa lagi? Oh, belum ada lagi yang ngacung. Kalau gitu saya pilih ya. Oh, itu ada. Alfa. Mana Alfa? Ya.
Apa suara saya sudah terdengar?
agak kecil suaranya.
Iya, saya lagi di kampus ini, Pak, soalnya mau bimbingan.
Iya, iya.
Oke,
Agak kencang aja sedikit ya.
gimana, Pak? Halo, oke. Thank you for your time, guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alva Viskara Mariono. So now I'm going to talk about inflation, and inflation is coming to be a big topic in Indonesia now. So inflation is a general and continuous increase in the price of goods and services over a certain period of time. And inflation occurs due to large demand from society, an increase in the supply of money, and an increase in production costs. In August 2024, Indonesia National Wholesale Price Index changed by 2.82% compared with August 2023. That means by year on year, on Y, the most significant change in the index in this agriculture sector, which increased by 4.001%, and the August 2024 year-on-year price change was mainly due to rice, oil palms, ginger, and filtered cigarettes by cloves and coffee beans. The WPI or VPI in August 2024 decreased by 0.12% month-to-month or M2M, and increased by 1.52% year-to-date or Y2D. The VPI consumption materials in August 2024 changed by 1.24% year-on-year, partly due to the increasing price of diesel fuel, sands, stone for construction foundation, asphalt, and cement. So that's all for me. The course of this news by Badan Pusat Statistik official sites. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Ya. Ya, memang ini ya, apa namanya? Sudah cukup bagus ya, apa ya? Tadi ada istilah year to year gitu ya, month to month, year to date gitu ya. Very good. Ya, itu memang kalau untuk saya aja kalau ngajar itu lebih nyaman di rumah ya, kalau online itu ya, daripada di kampus, itu karena pasti noise ya. Nah, kadang-kadang kalau saya di kampus itu malah saya masuk ke mobil gitu ya, biar nggak noise itu ya, kan kedap di sana ya. Ya memang harus agak teriak-teriak begini ya, biar jelas ya kan, mic itu kan kadang nggak ini ya. Nah kalau di kampus teriak-teriak kan jadi omelin orang ya, nah, jadi ya segitulah. Oke, thank you. Tadi siapa lagi tadi ya? Tadi apa ya, ada yang ngajung ya? Nah itu Dwi Nabilah ya.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now I will talk about the topic of boycott. Currently, the Indonesian economy is being affected by a boycott of several products related to companies or countries that are considered not to support Palestine. Public sentiment regarding the Palestine issue has encouraged boycott by Indonesian customers as a form of solidarity with the Palestine struggle. This boycott is often directed at products from countries that are considered to support Israel policy or have close ties with them. This boycott affects several sectors, especially imported products from this country. Although the impact on the national economy as a whole may not to be great, several companies involved may experience a decline in sales. In addition, industries such as retail, food, and beverage and other consumer products might experience pressure from local consumer who refuse to buy certain product. On the positive side, this boycott also encouraged increased customer awareness of the importance of supporting local and Islamic products. This can be an opportunity for local products to grow stronger, especially those with halal label and supporting value that are in line with concern for Palestine. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you ya, Dwi Nabila ya. Kok langsung hilang ya? Ya, jadi apa namanya? Cuman begini, saya herannya kalau ketika saya di Madinah kemarin itu ya, itu yang namanya Starbucks itu panggah rame kalau di sana ya. Ya, nggak tahu orang sana mungkin nggak tahu pemboikotan atau gimana ya. Okay, very good, very interesting issue ya. Memang di Indonesia cukup gencar gerakan itu ya. Walaupun ya tetap buka aja tokonya ya. Ya inilah individu. Okay, who's next? Ayo, siapa? Ayo. Siapa lagi? Sebelum saya pilih. Kalau nggak ada berarti saya pilih ini ya. Ini nih biasanya bagus ini. Apa Muhammad siapa ini? Yang backgroundnya merah ini.
Rafli, Pak.
Permisi, saya Bapak.
Oh, iya, betul. Ayo silakan.
Alright, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay. My name is Muhammad Rafi Arsadya, and today I want to present about the economic condition in Indonesia as open employment rates, or we known as TPT. Indonesia's economy has shown growth amid global economic stagnation and financial market turbulence. In the first quarter of 2024, the Indonesian economy grew by 5.1% year-on-year compared to quarter 1 of 2023 by Central Bureau of Statistics or BPS 2024. This growth is primarily driven by strong domestic demand and support from the state budget or APBN. The economy improvement has also positively impacted the reduction of unemployment rates. This growth occurred alongside global economic uncertainties. The equality of economic growth is demonstrated by a significant increase in job creation, which has led to a reduction in the open employment rate or TPT. For context, the unemployment rates includes individuals who fall into several categories. First, those who are unemployed but actively seeking work or business opportunities. Second, those who are not working but are unable or will not to take advantage of job opportunities. Third, those who have secured employment but have not yet started working. By Rahman and Royani 2023. Therefore, fluctuations in the TTP can indicate whether the labor force can be absorbed into the job market or not. According to data from Central Bureau of Statistics Indonesia, or we know as BPS, for 2024, first one, the number of the labor force based on the National Labor Force Survey, or we know as Sakernas, in February 2024 was 149 million people, an increase of 2.76 million from February 2023. Second, the employee population in February 2024 was 142 million people, up by 3.55 million from February 2023. Additionally, there has been an increase in formal and part-time employment among the sector. In 2024, data from Development Planning Agency in East Java highlights that the largest increase in employment was observed in the retail trade and vehicle repair sectors, with an increase of 412,000 people compared to a decrease of 230,000 people in the agriculture, fisheries, and forestry sectors from Bapeta 2024. This trend indicates a growing interest in business, trade, entrepreneurship, and service sectors among the workforce. The increase in the labor force in 2024 reflects an improvement in human resources, as noted by Arshad 2010 in the study by Marito et al. 2023. An increase in human resources leads to enhanced productivity, which is crucial for developing the workforce in terms of training, skills, and expanding job opportunities. Thus, these factors contribute to a better economic condition compared to the previous year. Thank you for the time. To Mr. Fadul and everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Cukup bagus ya. Mungkin agak belepotan sedikit karena baca angka-angka tadi ya, agak kesulitan ya. Tapi overall very good ya, tentang unemployment rate. Oke. Ya, selanjutnya siapa ini enaknya ya? Ini aja deh. Siapa ini? Indana ada Indan.
Yes, sure.
Ayo.
Okay. Oke, share. Langsung saya mulai ya, share. Yes, me. I want to present test for my analysis of the development of digital money in Indonesia. The rapid development of information and communication technology in this digital era has transformed the global economic landscape, including in Indonesia. The transformation is marked by the emergency of increasingly sophisticated systems, on one of which is digitalization. The process of digitalization has significantly impacted economic relationship and the flow of financial transformation in society. With the presence of electronic-based economic products such as digital currency, online marketplace, and e-money, people now have various alternatives for transaction more efficiently. From Gani Razina 2023. One of the most popular forms of digital money in Indonesia is e-wallet or digital wallet. Platforms like GoPay, OVO, Dana, and Link Aja have become integral part of daily life
specifically in major cities. The e-wallet are used not only of payment at retail store, but also for bill payment, online transaction, and food purchases. The availability of the e-wallet provides convenience and ease of transaction, thereby encouraging increased use among the public. The role of Bank Indonesia or BI as the monetary authority and financial regulator is crucial in the development of digital money. BI ensures regulation and policies of maintain the stability of electronic payment system. The significantly policy is the including of QRIS, which allow for easier and more efficient cross-platform digital payment. This initiative demonstrated BI commitment to creating a sure and integrated payment ecosystem while promoting the adoption of cashless transaction among the public. In conclusion, digitalization not only brings efficiency and conferencing in transaction, but can also serve as a drive for more equitable economic growth. The success of leveraging digital money will depend on collaboration between regulation, industry, payer, and society to create a safe, inclusive, and sustainable ecosystem. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Sir and all. One.
Ya, thank you Indana ya. Sebenarnya nggak ada yang salah ya kalau saya amati. Cuman kurang lancar, itu aja ya. Berarti harus lebih banyak berlatih biar lancar, nggak kaku ya. Oke. Next, let's see. Ya. Siapa ini ya? Mazaya, ada Mazaya?
Ada, Pak.
Ya. Silakan.
Indonesian path to achieving the SDGs, building an inclusive and sustainable economy. Indonesia is making significant strides toward achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs, aiming to create a more inclusive and sustainable economy by 2030. With a population of over 270 million people, the country plays a key role in the global push toward these goals, particularly in areas like poverty reduction, clean energy, and economic growth. One of Indonesia's biggest challenges is addressing inequality, particularly between urban and rural areas. This ties directly to SDGs 1, no poverty, and SDGs 10, reduce inequalities. The government has launched various social programs such as Bantuan Sosial, Social Assistance, and Kartu Prakerja, pre-employment card, to help lower income families and employed individuals gain skill and financial support. These initiatives are creating pathway for people in rural areas to participate more actively in the economy, ensuring that the benefit of development reach even the most remote communities. SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, is also a priority.
Indonesia's commitment to transitioning to renewable energy is also a priority. Indonesia's commitment to transitioning to renewable energy is becoming more prominent as the country aims to reduce its reliance on coal. Investment in solar energy, hydropower, and electric vehicle infrastructure are helping Indonesia move toward a greener future. The development of electric vehicle batteries is particularly promising, with Indonesia abundant nickel resource giving the country a competitive edge in the global EV market. By prioritizing clean energy, Indonesia is not only combating climate change but also driving economic growth through green industries. Another critical aspect is SDGs 8, decent work, and economic growth. Indonesia has focused on creating more job opportunities, particularly in the digital economy, which has rapidly expanded over the past few years. Startup in fintech, e-commerce, and digital service are thriving, creating jobs for millions of Indonesians. This digital boom is helping the country recover from the economic impact of the pandemic, while also setting the stage for long-term growth. Indonesia's journey toward the SDGs is filled with both challenges and opportunities. By focusing on inclusive growth, clean energy, and decent work, the country is taking concrete steps to create a more equitable and sustainable future for all.
Ya, oke. Very interesting ya tentang apa tadi SDG ya, Sustainable Development Goals ya. Oke, looks like we will have one more ya, satu lagi ya, karena saya nggak bisa lama-lama hari ini, mau ada meeting. Siapa coba ya? Ayo angkat tangan dong, satu lagi. Wait. Siapa ya? Ya. Salsabila Devi, ya, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will talk about e-commerce in Indonesia. The development of e-commerce reflects significant changes in how business operate and consumers shop. Beginning with the advent of the internet in the late 20th century, e-commerce has grown rapidly, particularly in the last 2 decades. Technological innovations such as mobile apps, digital payment platform, and cloud-based inventory management system have driven greater efficiency and accessibility. Increased internet and smartphone penetration has enabled more people to shop online, expanding market reach for companies of all sizes. E-commerce business models are now diverse, including direct-to-consumer or DTC, marketplace, and subscription service. Major companies like Shopee and Tokopedia dominate the Indonesian market, while smaller and local platforms also thrive by reaching a global audience. However, this growth brings challenges including cybersecurity issues, data privacy concerns, and the need to comply with varying regulations across countries. Additionally, intense competition and rapidly changing consumer preference require continuous innovation from industry players. Overall, e-commerce continues to evolve, playing a crucial role in the modern global economy and influencing how we shop and conduct business. That's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Ya, sudah cukup oke ya, kecuali mungkin tadi business itu ya, business itu kalau membaca ya bisnis gitu ya, bisnis. Oke, yang lain mungkin nanti bisa di-share ya tesnya di grup ya, terus belajar ya untuk pengucapannya ya dilancarkan, sering-sering dengar lagu Inggris atau film Inggris ya, atau nulis diary in English ya, terutama bagi yang belum lolos TEP-nya ya. Nah, itu harus dikejar terus. Kalau kalian ada waktu juga bisa ikut international conference ya, latihan presentasi in English gitu ya. Oke. Mungkin itu saja ya for today ya. We will meet again insyaallah next week with different topic, right?
Right,
So
sir.
yeah. Please stay study well, and let's close with doa akhir majelis. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Thank you BJ, thank you everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Farul.
Ya, study hard ya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya.